Hello, darlings. I'm sorry I'm late. Had a phone call, forgot about the time and stuff. Sorry about that, folks. But welcome to where's my thing? Over here, isn't it? Welcome to Monday Night Live, and it's just me. That's in the wrong place. There is no Emma, and I'm all discombobulated. So what we're going to do tonight, darlings, we're just going to have a really laid back couple of hours, very chilled out, and that's going to be that basically. Hopefully it will be quite pleasant. Just chilled out, relaxed. It's been yeah, it's been a funny sort of day. I'm all over the place like a mad woman's drawers. But we can have I'm knackered. But we can have a excuse me. We can just have a nice little relaxed catch up. And at 11 o'clock, I will open a bottle of wine, darlings. And, oh, oh, dear me. Oh, right, let's have a look at you. Oh, Peter P., first cab off the rank. Greetings, honourable community and the beige boatman. I might need to do a bit of pottering about during the live stream, darlings. I've got all sorts of. My kitchen is still in chaos because I haven't cleaned up after lunch. I'm ashamed to say. Carol C is with us. Huh? Boaty Hamilton. I don't get that. Well, par excellence and all the supportive community. Let's gather for a big hug. That's a nice idea. That's a nice idea. Yeah, it's a shame Emma's not with us tonight. Well, actually, it's a shame that Emma can't be with us tonight because of everything she's having to deal with. We all have it in life periodically, don't we? Now and then, some stuff comes along and batters you around the head and neck. I really struggled this morning, loves. Oh, I really did struggle this morning. Oh, oh, that drive to the yard, oh dear, oh dear. I was so tired this morning. So tired. Good evening, Boaty. Are we ready for another dose of waffle and wisdom? Don't know about the wisdom. I don't know if I've got any wisdom left in me. Carol C is very kindly urging people to like and subscribe, whether they're a commenter or a lurker. Says that, yes, Emma and I deserve a little bit of support, which is a lovely thing to say. And yeah, Emma deserves it. Even if we don't see her tonight, she will be here in spirit. She will indeed. I don't think Boaty knows his do's and don'ts, but that's why we let him wriggle into our hearts. Ian says, let's give a little virtual hug to all those who can't be with us this evening for whatever reason. We as a community are thinking of you, and I thoroughly approve of that. So yeah, a big shout out to everybody who knows us and who we know who isn't able to be with us tonight. I'm going to need to go to the loo in a minute. I'm really ill prepared, darlings. I've got, look, I've got all this washing up to sort out. In fact, I need to do that because that needs to be rinsed, doesn't it? Tell you what, let's do something a bit different. I'll put you there. I'll bring this over here. I'll clip the microphone on there. There we go. And then I can do the washing up, can't I? It's a bit dark here, isn't it? Let's put the light on. There we go. There we go. Carol's had a busy and productive day, but the trouble with... Oh, I remember you said yesterday, didn't you? You said that you were going to have to catch up with some household chores, and you were going to do some leaf, what's the thing, shoveling, whatever it is you do with leaves. Oh, God, and I didn't take my washing out, did I? God almighty, I'm in a right state tonight, darlings. Right, I'll tell you what, if I transfer all of this over here. I'm normally all ready and set up for you, but today's been a bit of a funny one, what with one thing and another. We'll get this done, and then as long as we get everything done by 11 o'clock, then we can settle down with a nice glass of wine and settle in for the second hour, can't we? The trouble with housework and cleaning, you do it, but very quickly it just needs doing again. Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. Dinner with the leftover curry from Saturday night. Hugs and, oh, excuse me, hiccups. Hugs and Momo for all in need, says Peter, please. There's a nice thought. Hugs and Momo. Well, there were Momo here at Windy Bum this lunchtime. Oh, people are sending love to Emma. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, Bad Books is with us. Good evening. Tracy P. Cardiff is with us. Hello. Oh, and here's Emma. I hope so too, says Emma, talking about being back. Stressful times have no end in sight, and I'm knackered. We'll hopefully put a video on my channel in the coming days, just showing some bits I've bought. Nothing exciting. Ah, there we are. We were dogging. We were dogging. I seem to have used a hell of a lot of pots this lunchtime, darling. That's a northern thing, isn't it? Calling them pots. Definitely a northern thing. In the north, you do the pots. I think in the south, you do the dishes. What do you do where you're from? Do you do pots or do you do dishes? There you go. Feature number 21C. I'm going to run out of space here, aren't I? What I need is, this will do. This will do. The historic city of York. If I put that there, like so, And if I move you over there a bit, then that gives me a bit of an extra draining room, doesn't it? That's the ticket. We were talking. We were talking. Oh, Matron's here, says good evening all. Has Boaty had a better offer? Yeah, sorry, darlings. Oh, Carol, running late. You must be doing the washing up from lunch. What I was actually doing was talking to the after sales department of the outfit that I got a new car from today. I was doing my best Karen, as I believe it's known now. Very unfair on people called Karen. Nearly there, darling. Right, hold that there. Can go there. Right. I've got it all rinsed. So that just needs drying off now, doesn't it? Leave that to drain for a while, and then I'll let's put me back in position. There you go. Get me doings. Turn the light up. Plug this back in. Put the microphone back where it belongs. Right, excellent. Now I'll get the phones in case anybody sends me a voice massage, an old voice note. Well, what I can tell you, darlings, is that today here at Windy Bottom, there are fewer cars, fewer Momo, and absolutely no chicken drumsticks left. So it's been, we'll come on to that in a moment, in due course, no doubt. But it's been a successful and enjoyable day for the most part. Oh, speaking of voice notes, here we go. Here we go. Let's start as we mean to go on, shall we? I don't know what's in my food. Right, here we go.
Hi, ladies and chappies. Here's my dinner. Cheeseburger with wedges and beans. Whoa, looks very nice. And I think I might have a coffee in a bit. Things in the sink at the moment, just giving it a wash, ready for my coffee in a little bit.
Tomato ketchup.
There's tomato ketchup. If we could spare a second, and tonight we're watching Jason doing Monday Night Live, start at 10 o'clock.
Well, it's supposed to.
And I believe he's been very, very busy doing car swap today.
I have been very, very
the captain
busy.
And also Legro Man, which is also better known as Legro Man Rover Dash, because he actually doubles in Rovers as well. Anyway, thank you very much. I look forward to tonight, sir.
Look at that, look. Got all that to go through and put into Polly Pockets. That's going to keep me busy for an hour or two. Ah, the lovely Mr. Paddy there. And I think there is a follow-up.
Was the car as nice as you thought, sir, when you drove it home?
I didn't drive it home. I drove, as planned, I drove Shisen to the yard. And then we all jumped in the Peugeot, and Mustard drove the Peugeot home. Because quite honestly, I was so tired. I really didn't fancy it. I struggled to drive there. This morning, oh God. I need to have a day where I just don't get up until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something ridiculous, and just have a massive, massive sleep fest. I'm genuinely starting to feel a bit on the sleep deprived side, and yeah, this morning was a real struggle. I spent today, says Matron. Oh, hello, Pingu's with us. So, Boaty, we're relying on you to save us all from Skynet. Hashtag 2029 year of kaboom. Oh, there we are. Matron spent today doing a final edit of the video that went live this evening, the Mustard and Boaty Do Drinks one from last Monday. It had better be bloody good, Matron, if it's been a week in the making. No, I haven't gone to America to cover the election, but I would love to. I would love to. And so I'm not going to be getting much. Oh God, is it? Which night is it that we're supposed to stay up through the night to? Oh, apparently you need a wipe. I'm informed that you require a wipe. Hold on. Come here. Come and be wiped. How's that? Is that better? Oh, it's like your mother used to do. Spit on a hanky and wipe your bloody face in the middle of the Kingfisher Centre. Oh, Mom, leave me alone. Hopefully that is better. Yeah, when is it that I can't forget if it's in front or behind. So is it overnight tonight that the results are going to start rolling in, or is it overnight tomorrow night? I'm out of the loop. It's been a weird day, darlings. I'm completely out of the loop on everything. Nothing is making sense in my mind. It's still about 7 o'clock this evening. Seem to have lost a few hours somewhere. Greetings, Greenwood, says Pingu. I have watched your latest video. Nice one. So what have we all had to eat today, asked Matron. Peter P had spaghetti with chorizo. Emma had homemade spag bol, and it was very, very tasty. I need spaghetti bolognese in my life. I need it. I need it. I need it. I might go to the bloody supermarket tomorrow morning and buy the bits and pieces and have spag bol for lunch. Indeed, Dented Daisy will be missed along with Dented Doris. Yeah, well, I'm particularly missing Dented Daisy today because part of my car was taken away in Dented Daisy. Specifically, the parcel shelf. Bloody Mustard took the parcel shelf out so the dog could sit nicely in the boot. Shoved it into Dented Daisy and forgot it was bloody in there. Oh. That was part of the reason for the telephone call to the after sales team. The other thing that was missing, darlings, was the handbook. Mustard said in his video that there were certain things he wanted to sort out with the car, and it was a more modern and more complicated car than he was used to. And he had to admit defeat, and it is defeat for a man, and he had to get the handbook out to figure out how to do some things because it's really quite complicated. And he didn't bother putting the handbook back. So I've got no handbook, and things are really complicated. I thought I'd take it out for a little drive, put some diesel in because it was completely empty. In fairness, mine were completely empty as well, but I did give Mustard some petrol money to put fuel in to take them back. So I took Officer Crabtree to get some diesel. I did a lights check, including putting the front and rear fog lights on, as you do. You know, check all your lights are working. It's a new car. You know, you do the sensible things. You check the oil, you check the water, and you check your lights. Make sure that all is as it should be. There's no way to turn the bloody fog lights off. It's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And the gramophone, don't get me started on the gramophone, how to bloody well use that. It's, oh my God. Oh, I'm trying to do it without the handbook. And this is disappointing. A really cheap plastic wallet. That's a nice car, a luxury car. And it's a really cheap plastic, and it's got white paint all over it. I wonder if that will come off. Let's give that a go. So it's going to be a lovely car, is Officer Crabtree. I just need the book to teach me how to use it. I need a parcel shelf for it because, and you might not have known this. This might be information to you, but if you don't have a parcel shelf in your car and it's a hatchback or an estate, meaning that things that you might put in the boot of your car are visible, then your insurance is invalidated. Now, I bet there are some of you who didn't know that. So if you've got your, if you went on a road trip to Snowdonia and you've got a case in the boot, and that case has got your MacBook in it and your iPad and your iPhone 16. So what's that? 4,000 quid's worth of electric gadgetry, and it gets nicked. You're not covered. You're not covered. So don't underestimate the importance of a parcel shelf. Right, well, the good news is that white painty stuff has come off. So, yeah, that's now looking a bit better. Just dry that off. Just need a bleeding handbook in it. Honestly. I was in the motor trade for 65 years, and things have come to a pretty pass when I need to check the handbook to figure out how to play a bloody CD. You can't just play a CD. Mustard didn't try the CD thing, so he doesn't know. But you download the CD to the vehicle's hard drive or some such, and the hard drive is filled up with all of the previous owner's music. But without the handbook, I don't know how to wipe all of that and get rid of it so I can put mine on there. I mean, it's actually quite a clever thing, isn't it? Download. So rather than having 100 CDs or 10 CDs or even 3 CDs in your car, you put the CD in, the car downloads the music to its own hard drive, and then you have a jukebox setting on your gramophone, and you can play all of your music. So that's kind of a wonderful and slightly impressive thing. But it's not so bleeding wonderful when all you can play through your gramophone It's the previous owners, the complete works of Bob Marley and the Bastard Wailers. Nightmare. Nightmare, darlings. Matron had chicken meat like shawarma, I think, with chips and salad from the local chippy. Pingu's got a big hug for Emma. Pocahontas 100 is with us and says, hello, everyone. Great to see you, Emma. Does anybody know any good or bad jokes, asks Ian. Um, Oh, Carol loves cheese. She's been making a list of Christmas cheeses today. The order goes in tomorrow at the local cheese shop. Sorry to Boaty and my hubby, who doesn't like cheese. Well, he's a top chap, your husband. He's a top chap. If only King Bolan made a time machine, Boaty would be sorted. That reminds me, I need to reply to them. They want to send me another OBD thing for Jaguar Land Rover. And they haven't got my address from the last time. And I meant to reply to them, didn't do that today. Emma loves a baked camembert at Christmas, and she sees that M&S have a nice one with a chorizo or something on the top. Jimmy F500 had lovely curried flavoured tuna salad with a BLT Sambo and crisps. Feel free to puke. I will generally eat any combinations of food, he says, like a pig. Hello to all and Emma. Hello, Boaty. What time do you call this, says Carol C. I've had a trying evening, darlings. A trying evening indeed. Semi-normal service has been resumed, says Ian. Batman Reuben is here, says evening all. Pingu's asking Emma and Tracy if they like Tizer. And Emma's never tried it. Dave Smith is with us and says evening. Good evening to you. I don't drink fizzy drinks or pop, says Matron, but I remember it from years ago, Pingu. Hello, Bog, says the lovely Ross. Dino, Dad. No Steve Berry Big in the 90s video this morning. I had nothing to watch while I was having a poo. Was there not one this morning? How come? Why was there not a... Oh. Maybe Mustard will come on and tell us. 69 Phuket is back with us. Oh, God. Happy, joy. How was Gandalf this morning, asked Dave. He was fine. In good spirits. So was Allegro Man. Ross had beans on toast for breakfast. And it's 26 degrees and sunny and a national day off to watch a horse race. Life's okay. It sounds it. Are we going for a pee? We are in a minute. I know what Mustard's getting for Christmas, say Dave Smith. A wooden fork. The washing up blues. Yeah, me the same. Where's Sean's interlude for you to go to the loo? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I have got that somewhere, haven't I? I can't remember if it's on our... I can't remember which chat it's on. Whether it's on the community phone chat or the private chat. So we've got two chats going, me and Sean. Is it on this one? God, we talk too much. God, how far back? Dear, oh dear. I'll have to dig it out later on. A walk around, says Mark Passat. Hello, Mark. How lovely. Pass me a tea towel, I'll help. Oh, bless you, I could do with it. I could do with that. Multitasking Boaty. Some channel says 69 Phuket do exclusive washing up, do they? Boaty's going all Nanette Newman with the hands that do dishes. Oh, Nanette Newman. Oh, yes. If you're like me, then you love entertaining, but you hate the ghastly aftermath. I love that advert. Salutations to you, Sir Boaty, and of course, one and all, says DL. Having just finished a Monday evening service, I think a glass of sloshy rouge is in order. I agree, and at 11 o'clock, darlings, I'm going to be diving into my own wine stash with gay abandon. In fact, I will put a bottle into the freezer now in readiness for said wine o'clock moment. The winner takes it all. The loser gets fuck all. Oh, and apparently the washing up is supposed to be ASMR or some nonsense. I still don't know what that means. Are you missing Sheeson yet, Reverend? Asked Pingo. Oh, I had a really good drive in Sheeson this morning. Had a lovely drive over there in Sheeson. Apart from the fact I was knackered, but Sheeson drove beautifully. And no, I'll miss them in a way, but I'm absolutely convinced that I did the right thing for me, for Mustard, and for the cars themselves. And I had a revelation in old Officer Crabtree. Now, I am 6'5" of the King's inches tall, and I've got a 36-inch inside leg. I'm quite long. There's quite a lot of me, darlings. And for the only time that I can ever remember, I just automatically, as I do in any car that I get into, I clambered into Officer Crabtree this evening, put the seat all the way back, and thought, oh, I'm too far back. That's never happened before. Never happened before. And I actually, I moved the seat forward a little bit. I didn't have it all the way back. And I genuinely can't remember that ever happening before. Now, it kind of goes back in two ways. It goes back on the fore and aft, but also when you put the seat down, lower it, it kind of goes down and back. And I was a hell of a long way away from the steering wheel. So I adjusted the steering wheel and brought the steering wheel down and closer towards me. But I still felt, I think it's because I'm so used to being crammed up in a Rover 25. There's not really enough room in a Rover 25 for me, darlings. And I've got used to driving like that with my knees touching my man boobs. I think once I get used to it, I probably will have the seat all the way back, but it'll be a lovely driving position. I mean, my favorite driving decision is very much a racing driver position. So almost lying down, with your arms and legs, certainly with your legs outstretched. And yeah, that's where I've always been most comfortable, but can't really achieve it in most cars. And there are lots of other things about that car that are a bit of a revelation. It's so long since I've had anything with any degree of technology in it that it takes a bit of getting back used to. And, things like I'm not used to driving a car with a 6-speed box anymore. Just one of those things you get out of the habit with. So you keep finding yourself in the wrong gear because the ratios of all of the gears will be different than you're used to. So yeah, you just find yourself in the wrong gear. So that'll take a little bit of getting used to. It's all stuff I've done in the past, but you get out of the habit, don't you? Here's a feature for you. What was the first six-speed gearbox car you drove? Um, the first car I drove was my girlfriend's. It was what was her name? Heidi. Heidi. Uh, Heidi had she just bought it when I met her. A brand new Alpha Spider with a six-speed box, and that was the first one I remember driving. Ah. If you've not already told the story of the day, when you get to this, Boaty, how did today go and how was lunch? Um, it was okay. It was okay. There's the disappointment with the handbook and the parcel shelf. Um, Other than that, everything went according to plan, really. I was only 6 minutes late to get into the yard. We had a nice drive back from the yard in the Peugeot. I filmed all of that. Uh, we had the dog with us as well, which was nice. I've had a dog in Windy Bum for the first time. That felt very strange, but very nice. A home isn't a home unless there's a dog in it, I always think. Um, and did some fiddling about with the cars, swapped their stuff over, and then we had a very nice lunch. A very nice lunch indeed. And I filmed that as well. It's going to be a lousy lunch film because we were all starving and we just tucked in and forgot to do any talking. I'll still put it up, you know me. I've got no shame. But no, it was a really nice lunch. I made plenty of momo. I didn't just do the four each I was going to do. I made some extra. And we had the chicken drumsticks and we had naan bread and momo chutney. And it was very nice indeed. It all got well and truly polished off. And that was lovely. And then they buggered off, and I went to have a play with the car, and and then time just sort of all ran away with me, and I got all confuddled and lost track of what I was doing and who I was and where I was and all of that. What did I do with the keys? Oh, there we go. Show you the keys, darling. There you go. Those are the keys to the new Steve. No, it's even a modern key. Modern key. I'm not used to this kind of modernity. The really silly thing is, oh, hello. I'm being ping ponged. Hold on, I'll check that. Last night, when I should have been doing the sensible thing and going to bed, my OCD kicked in, didn't it? Hold on. Oh, excellent. Oh, bless him. Sean has come to the rescue. Sean has provided an intermission, a 3-minute intermission, so I can go to the bar. Bless you, Sean. You're a good one. That will set me up nicely for wine o'clock. So I will be back in 3 minutes, darlings. How do I play this? Oh, I press that, do I? Mr. Boaty's off to sea, but first he needs a little spree. To the bathroom, quick and fleet. Talk amongst yourselves, be discreet.
He's got some business to address before he can sail, no less. A little pee, a little poo, then he'll be back right on cue. Oh, Mr. Boaty's got to go, but don't you fret, don't make a show. He'll soon return, fresh and clean, strapped back onto the sea. A bathroom break, a sailor's chore. He's wiping clean behind the door. A sailor's duties, big and small. To sail the seas, he's done them all. Oh, Mr. Boaty's got to go, but don't you fret, don't make a show. He'll soon return, fresh and clean, strutting back onto the sea. A bathroom break, a sailor's chore. He's wiping clean behind the door. A sailor's duties, big and small. To sail the seas, he's done them all. Oh, Mr. Boaty's got to go, but don't you fret, don't make a show. He'll soon return, fresh and clean, strapped back onto the sea. A little time, a simple need to clear his bowels and plant the seed for journeys grand across the tide with Mr. Boaty at the guide. A little time, a simple need to clear his bowels and plant the seed for journeys grand across the tide with Mr. Boaty at the guide.
I put my slippers on as well.
Mr. Boaty's. He was one of the wake, and that's one of the wake. Mr. Boaty's got to go, but don't you fret, don't make a show. He'll soon return, fresh and clean, strutting back onto the sea. A bathroom break, a sailor's chore. He's wiping clean behind the door. A sailor's duties, big and small. To sail the seas, he's done them all. A little time, a simple need to clear his bowels and plant the seed for journeys grand across the tide with Mr. Boaty at the guide.
Oh dear. Thank you for. Oh, hello. Well, don't do that. That's it. There we go. Thank you for that, Sean. That was brilliant. Oh, that was brilliant. And I took advantage of the situation and I put my slippers on as well, so I'm nice and comfortable. Oh dear. Simone is with us. Hello. I just heard Quincy Jones died today. Oh, I loved that. I loved that. I used to. Oh God. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I used to really enjoy it. I can't remember the wording, but there was the bit at the start, wasn't there, when all the students were there for the autopsy, and he whipped the thing back and started doing the autopsy, and they were all fainting. Good old Quincy. He always got to the bottom of the mystery. Oh well, bless him. Bless him. That is sad. So that's why you were late. He and Mustard were dogging. That's what you do with the French estate, says Pingu. What is? I hope the three of you had a nice time and there were no rows. No, there were no rows. We had a lovely time. I do the washing up, says Matron. We all do, don't we? Oh, sorry, I see what you mean. Ah, right. I asked you what you did, wasn't it? Whether it was the pots or the dishes. And Matron does the washing up. I see. I see. Right. I'm with it now. I'm with it now. I do the dishes, says Simone, but when I was younger, I worked as a pot wash. There you are, you see. 21 degrees C, says Mark. Spot on. Pots north, dishes south. I do the washing up, or mainly load the dishwasher, says Carol C. We're talking about human lives, says Ross. Yes. Yeah, I remember it now. 69 Phuket says, I get the Fairy Max Power Grit leak technology and refill it with cheap crap. I do the washing up, says Bad Books. Doing a Karen. Did you tell them to go to the pub, Boaty? Have you? Oh, bugger off, Pingu. No, I haven't knackered Officer Crabtree's clutch yet. Right, it's 1:00, darlings. It's 1:00. Did I put my glass in the fridge? I did. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. His clutch is in perfect working order. Touch wood. Touch wood. Oh my God. Yeah. That's the only thing with cars like that. It's a little bit scary when there's so much to go wrong. But the best thing about that car is that beautiful red leather interior. Oh, and this is a little ping pong from the lovely John Stoodley. Hi, Jason. Hope all went well today with Mr. Allegro Man and Mustard with the car shenanigans. Now then, as Andy would say. Yeah, it was all grand, mate. Oh, there's something else here. Ah, right, yes. Gotcha. Thank you very much. Oh. Thankfully, I remembered these, darlings. I've got one spare now. I didn't quite have one for each car. I had 6 of these in-car mounts, and I had 7 cars. Well, as of today, I only have 5 cars, so I've got a spare one. So that means I can go back to using a 2-camera setup in the car. I can have one facing forward and one on me, like I used to. And then I stopped doing it because I couldn't be asked putting the car mounts in and out of each car. I wanted one in there. I wanted them to be fixed in permanently into the car, say swapping them about and whatnot. And they stopped. This is the only one that I've found anywhere that will adjust itself into a position where I can get a clear, unobstructed view forwards. Every other one, you get a bit of the mount in the camera shot. Cheers, darlings. You're very good health. Up yours, bottoms up, and above all, get stuffed. And they stopped making them, or they stopped selling them, and couldn't get them anywhere. So I bought the last remaining ones, but that was kind of all she wrote. So I've always had one car without one, and I've never got a spare one to do a second camera in the car. But now I have got a spare, so yeah, I can go back to using a 2-camera setup in the car. So that will be very good indeed. Oh, I've got insurances and stuff to sort out tomorrow, but that'll be fine. That'll be fine. It's the multi-car one I need to, and if I forget to do that tomorrow, I'm in all sorts of trouble. I didn't realize I got, where is it? Here we go. I got a recorded delivery over the weekend, and they're often not good news in a brown envelope. And it was from Footman James, and I didn't realise this. My direct debit for my fleet classic car fleet policy with Footman James, the direct debit bounced 2 or 3 times with Close Brothers Premium Finance. So they've closed the thing, and I've got to pay the full outstanding balance in full within 7 days of the date of this letter, or the insurance is cancelled, and I've got cars sitting there with no insurance. But it does say at the end, if you are having financial difficulties, contact us to discuss the options available to you. We trust you will give this matter your urgent attention. So tomorrow is kind of the last day. It came over the weekend. They're closed over the weekend. Obviously, I was busy today, so I must deal with that tomorrow, because if that insurance goes south, then I'm in more trouble than Dick Barton, so I'll have to ring up them and do a bit of begging and pleading. And while I'm at it, I can take Sheeson and Stigbert off the fleet policy, and I can put Windsor Davis on the fleet policy. And hopefully that will be a cost neutral thing, because with taking the 2 off, hopefully that will cancel out putting the 1 on, and I can talk them into continuing the insurance. My bad. It's my bad. This is the sort of thing that really gets you down in the medium to long term, when you're spending every day getting the text messages from your bank, and you know that stuff is going to bounce, and you're trying to work out what you can allow to bounce and what you can't. I looked at one of my, and of course they punish you for it, and it becomes a vicious circle. I checked my car insurance history by text on the Land Rover policy. 4 times that direct debit bounced, because it comes out like 3 days before I get paid, and it's 4 times so far it's bounced, and every time they've charged 25 quid, an extra 25 quid when they take the payment again 5 days later. So that's 100 quid, £100 that I've lost out on through my own stupidity, really. I did that video about, finally raking up to the stark realization and whatnot, but that's obviously still a work in progress, because I'm still sticking my head in the sand a bit. And like, I did it again this month, 3 days before payday. I know that stuff is going out. I know I haven't got any money to put in the bank. So I just forget about it. I ignore it. Nothing I can do about it. So I try not to stress about it. And then I deal with it all afterwards. But you end up having even less money than you would have anyway, because you get these penalty payments. It's all, and look at that. I'm saying that while I'm pouring a glass of wine. I'm racking up these bloody penalty payments, but I'm still having too many cars. I'm still drinking wine every night. I'm still not being sensible. And that is absolutely typical of me. I'm, in many ways, I'm a very stupid man, and there's only so far that I'm going to cut my cloth. You cut your cloth according to your means, but there will come a point, normally when it comes to a bottle of wine, and I'll think, sod it, really? God, if I have to give up my glass of wine of an evening when I'm working my balls off, and then, is it really worth it? So you're doing that, and you're keeping the heating down, and you're a bit cold all the time, and you're wearing a big jumper, and you're checking your prepayment meter to see when you get, And it all gets really wearing. And I hope, please God, I hope that's coming to an end before too long, with a combination of things. Finally being sensible with the cars, thinning them down, paying a bit less insurance, a bit less tax, less MOT stuff, um, and working the other side as well. Hopefully YouTube might pick up a little bit. I might earn a little bit more. And hopefully the Airbnb will kick in. I don't want to be rich, darlings. I don't want to be rich beyond the dreams of avarice. I don't want to be a hubnut or anything like that. All I want is enough money to exist comfortably, to pay my bills on time, all the time, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm not going to court for bloody council tax arrears and all of that. Oh shit, that reminds me, I've got to pay my council tax arrears instalment, haven't I? Because I've got to think, oh God. Oh, I'm supposed to have done that on the first of the month. Something else to put on the list for tomorrow. So hopefully all of this is coming to an end and there'll be a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. As I said, if just a relatively small amount of money will just make the difference, so that the head will just be above water and I'm not having to allow stuff to bounce on a monthly basis and then deal with the fallout of that. I'm not having to run the gas on emergency bloody credit all the time and all of that kind of kerfuffle, you know. If I can just be a bit sensible and work my ass off, and I will work hard at this Airbnb thing, my God, I'll really give it my best shot. And if I can just get to that point where I can pay my bills and have a bottle of wine at night, then that's it. That's all I ask for. That's all I ask for. I don't need holidays or brand new cars or clothes. God, no, I don't spend any money on clothes, do I? I don't go to the pub. I don't really socialise or eat out or anything apart from a Monday lunchtime. So please God, that side of things will be coming to an end. It becomes really wearisome. It's difficult to stop it from weighing on your mind to such a degree that it starts affecting you all day, every day. I mean, you know, and sometimes people, well, I mean, you know, like I said in that video, I'm kind of my own worst enemy in a lot of ways, but there we are. There we are. Washing up is my least favourite chore, says Matron. I absolutely hate it. I play avoidance constantly. Knockered clat. Don't decry Karens. I have a daughter of that name, says Carol. The best daughter and friend you could wish for. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about the name Karen having that connotation now. I dated a couple of Karens and they were lovely. Newcastle was a Karen, and Newcastle, what a character she was. Oh, you would love Newcastle. You would absolutely love Newcastle. She took no nonsense from me. She was one of the people that she knew me inside out and backwards. She knew my thought processes, she knew my motivations, she knew my techniques for this, that, and the other, and she could just scupper me on every single level imaginable. And if I was pontificating at a dinner party, this was back when I used to do that sort of thing, and I'm pontificating about something or other, and she would cut me down in an instant. She was the problem with Newcastle was she was cleverer than me. That was the problem with Newcastle, and I admired that. I was incredibly attracted to it, um, but it meant that I couldn't get away with any nonsense. Uh, Newcastle was great. She was a lawyer, and I met her on a dating site. Went up to Newcastle. This was in the phase when I was being a bit of a tart, and I had to call people from where they were from, because uh, you might be casually dating, but you see, now there's the thing, right? In the modern day and age, it's generally deemed that if you're dating somebody, as in you're going on a first date or a second date, then you shouldn't be doing the same thing with anybody else. Now, back in the day, that wasn't so much of a thing. It was perfectly normal that in the space of a week, if you were single and fancy free, now you might be looking for a relationship, looking to settle down, um, but that would mean that you would date 3 or 4 girls or boys, if you were a girl, in the week, and that was perfectly normal. You weren't considered a tart or anything. Now, if you committed to each other and it's gone from casual dating into the early stages of a romance, then yeah, you become exclusive, as we used to call it. But it was perfectly normal to that was the way it worked. It doesn't seem to. It's all weird now. I get it in singles. I had to relearn this. Is that you start talking to somebody online, and that's it. You can't talk to anybody else in the same way. And you have to commit to talking, and you almost commit to a relationship before you even meet, which seems like madness. It's like putting all of your eggs into one basket. And people will talk for weeks and weeks or even months, and they're convinced that they're in a relationship before they've even met each other. Well, it never used to be like that. Never used to be like that. You'd go out and you'd date somebody different every night of the week, and you'd keep doing that until you met one that you hit it off with, and you were going to give it a go of being something more than dating. And you would have that conversation, do you want to be, shall we make this an exclusive thing? And it was a two-way street. All of the people that I dated, they were doing the same. They were dating different people. And you go out on a nice date, you meet somebody, you're civilized, you have a drink, you have a meal, and then after the date, you thank each other, you wish each other well, you go your separate ways, and then you decide individually and collectively, do you want a second date? Do you want to see each other again? And maybe you will, maybe you won't. Either way, it was all good. So I was doing that, and I would be going out on a date with a different girl every night, and often they had the same name, and that could become confusing. So that's why I had a rule. I never dated at the same time people from the same place. Um, uh, so I used to call them where they were from. So that Karen she was Newcastle. She was always Newcastle. And I've got lots of friends now who I still call because that's how I met them. And they'll still be called, Mel was never Mel. She was Cheltenham or Chelts. So anyway, Newcastle, bless her, she was a lawyer, but she was such a mad, free spirit. She was wonderful. She was an excellent, excellent lawyer. Another thing which really attracted me to her because uh, I studied the law. I loved the law. It's my métier. It was always my plan to become a barrister. Uh, Life got in the way, sent me in other directions, but I've always had a deep passion and love for the law, which is why I've often ended up dating lawyers. Newcastle was Newcastle was a lawyer. Robin, that's Chicago. She was a lawyer. My first Chinese fiance, Leiyun, she was a barrister. She was actually a QC. And yeah, so Newcastle, bless it. Mad as a box of frogs, but wonderfully so. And I love that. I love eccentricity. I especially love people who are more eccentric than me. I'll give you a couple of examples. She always carried a car full of umbrellas. And if it started raining really badly, she would just hand out umbrellas to anybody in the street who was trying to keep out of the rain. But my favourite story about Newcastle is some friends came round. This is true. I promise you, this is true. And this is just typical Newcastle. Some friends came round and she popped to the local shop to get milk and some nibbles. And Newcastle travelled everywhere with credit cards, debit card, passport, everywhere, permanently in her handbag. And she popped to the local shop to get these things for the friends that were in her house, and came back 2 weeks later, having been halfway around the world, completely on a, she was just trotting merrily to the local shop and thought, I've never been to Johannesburg. I'm going to go to Johannesburg. And you've got to love that. You've got to love somebody who is so free-spirited that, I'm going to tell you something else, and this is really indiscreet. This is really, really indiscreet, but I'll tell you anyway. She got into now Newcastle and I, we had a thing, and the thing kind of fizzled out, but we remained friends, very good friends. And she was also very good friends with Mel, my Cheltenham, my business partner, and they're still friends to this day. So we were really good friends. And after the thing with me fizzled out, she started a relationship with a guy, and she was a bit like Barry and Karen. She might have been a lawyer, but she was also a damn good detective. Another reason why you couldn't bullshit her. It's a good job. You know me. Mustard's the first one to say this. Whatever faults I've got or whatever things I've done, I'm just open about it. I'm not clever enough to lie and cover it up and all of that. I just, yep, I did that. Yeah, I do this. I did that. So I was always all right with Newcastle because she didn't have to do any. Well, she would have done detective work on me, but there was nothing there to find because I just tell everybody that all of my stupidities and my ill doings and wrongdoings. But she had a relationship going with this guy, and she was in his place when he wasn't there, and she did the search, right? You're not supposed to do this, are you? I don't think. But she did the search when he wasn't there. I know she did it in my place as well. There was nothing to find in my place. She did the search in his place, and hidden at the back of one of the wardrobes, she found some really intense BDSM magazines and whatnot. And so she looked through these and thought, right, so that's what you're into, is it? Okay. But she really, really liked this guy. And like I say, she was open-minded, free spirit. So this is true. I promise you this is true. And she told us all about it. She was very open about it. So she not confronted him, but she made him aware that she had become aware of his predilection and said, look, that's okay. I don't know anything about this, but let's see if we can make this a thing and I'll get involved. And the next thing you know, 3 days later, she's off to a BDSM thing wearing some leather outfit, crawling on her hands and knees with a leather collar around her neck, being led by a lead by this guy. Oh God! Oh, I remember her telling me that. There are some other things that I really can't tell you about, but oh, bless her. Good old Newcastle. We had a great first date. I booked a hotel in Newcastle because it was a bit too far to do a there and back kind of date. So I booked myself a hotel. Met Newcastle, first date. We went out for dinner. Don't think I'd been to Newcastle before at that point. We went out for dinner and she came back to the hotel. And we, how romantic is this? It was a really nice hotel. And we drank the minibar. We divided the drinks between us as to who likes this, who likes that. We hadn't taken anything or anything like that. So we just divided the minibar in half and we drank it and we talked and we laughed and whatever. And then we got room service, had the minibar restocked and we drank it again. And then we called room service. By now it's like the morning, and we got all of the morning newspapers, had the minibar restocked, and we drank the newspaper again. We drank the minibar again, the third minibar, while reading the papers and discussing politics and current affairs and all of that sort of thing. One of my best ever first dates, that was. That was really, really good. And then I think there was no pottering, absolutely no pottering on that first date. Didn't happen at all. We just drank through the night, talked. We probably slept for a couple of hours, and then she went to work, and I drove from Newcastle to Birmingham, and I went to work. I remember that so well. And just as I was fascinated by her, she was fascinated by me. And she, more than anybody else in my life, she tried to get me writing again. She was so determined that I should write, We talked about writing before. She wanted me to write my life story to that point. And she was involved in my life at that time. I remember the one phrase she came out with. There used to be a bumper sticker doing the rounds. And it used to say, my other car is a Porsche. So it'd be on the bumper or the back window or something, and it would say, my other car is a Porsche. And it'd be on something like a bloody Mini Metro or something like that. And at the time that I met Newcastle, then the two cars that I was running at that time were my Porsche 928 and a Porsche 931 Turbo. So she had a sticker made, two stickers made, one for each of the cars, which said, my other car is also a Porsche, because she found that hilarious. One Porsche is bad enough, but two Porsches. And if you ever look at my Facebook, then there's a cover picture that I've used quite a few times. It's one of my favorite pictures in the world. I'll try and find it and show it to you. it should be in my Facebook albums. And then if I go into my profile, then if I go into photos, and if I go into cover photos, hold on, right, albums, profile pictures, cover photos, here we are. It should be in here. So I've used it as a cover picture more than once. That's it. That's it. Right, one of my favorite ever photos. Now, this is before the days of digital photography. This was taken with an Olympus OM4 single lens reflex. Right, let me just show you that. There you go. Now, that was taken on the Penrhyn in the Brecon Beacons, South Wales. Now, that exact spot where the girl is standing, you can see that in the video that I did with Sean. And Sean and I were both standing on that exact spot, and the car was parked where this car is parked here. Now, when I was with Sean, we were in, we took Dick a Dum Dum for that one. But so this was taken many years before. That's my Porsche 928. His name was Milo. And I took Newcastle on a visit to my grandparents. So, you know, for a bit of a drive out, a day out, see the old grandparents, all of that sort of thing. So I was quite serious about it. And we stopped off, and it's not technically a good photo, but I love the fact it's so atmospheric. You're on the family mountain on this tiny little lane in the middle of nowhere in a Porsche 928, which was quite a bit of kit back in the day. It was cloudy. The clouds were down over the mountain. It was windy. It was raining, typical Welsh weather. And I just got that snap there. And that is Newcastle. That girl there with her hair blowing in the wind. That's Newcastle. And yeah, so she really wanted me to write, and she gave me one of the best books I've ever received, because she said this is the book is called, some of you might have read it. The book is called Tragically, I Was an Only Twin. And it was a book written by Peter Cook. And she said, you need to read this, and then you need to write a book, because you are the other only twin. And she said, you've got at least one book in you like this one. And I've had some voice messages pinging in. I should play those instead of banging on about this, that, and the other, and strolling down memory lane. If you'd like to know what happened to Newcastle, she met and fell in love with a Cypriot guy, and she kind of disappeared. Very unlike her, strong, independent, successful woman. And she found the right one, and she just kind of disappeared, and just settled down, had a baby, I think, and was just happy being a wife and mother. And her husband, he did social media and stuff, and she just occasionally used that. So I'm still friends with her husband, and occasionally Newcastle will post something or something post. But yeah, and as far as I know, she's still very happily married, living in Cyprus, doing whatever it is they're doing. Right. Ah, yes. Here we go. Here we go.
Hello, it's Captain Horseradish here.
I'm sorry I can't be there live tonight for the shitting forecast, but Steve Berry did a shit in me nighty, so I'm really busy cleaning that up. But thank goodness you left this handbook with me, because it's coming very handy, I tell you that much. Anyway, I better go. Back to you, Boaty.
Oh, how lovely. A message from Captain I love Captain Horseradish. Captain Horseradish is the best thing that's ever come out of these live streams. And here is an impersonator of Captain Horseradish. Oh, there we are. Well, thank both of you, Captain Condiments. Do you know, you must hate it when I didn't mean to press that. You must hate it when I go off on one down memory lane, but I'm really grateful that you allow me to do it and that you say things that prompt me to do it, because I really enjoy it. I've not thought about that first date with Newcastle or about her generally for ages, and it's really nice to do. We had some fun times. Me in Newcastle. Now, that's one of the ones that you look back on and you think, you know, how old was I when I met Newcastle? I would have been, hang on, trying to work out the time scale of things. Right. Newcastle was before Lisa. Oh God. It's really difficult to figure it out. I think Newcastle was, sometimes I have to remember it by the cars, because I remember the timeline of the cars more than I remember the people. So I think that Newcastle came somewhere after Chicago, after Lena and my time in Ukraine. And then Newcastle was somewhere in the mix around the time with Heidi, because I had the 928 when I was with Heidi. So somewhere around there. And then so there was a period after Chicago and after Ukraine and after Robin and Lena. There was a period when I was back in the UK. I think this was before. Yeah, right. Getting it figured out a bit now. There was a period where I was back in the UK doing the dating thing. And there were 2 or 3 around that time that were that I kind of had to go with. We moved from the casual dating into the let's see if there's a relationship here kind of thing. And that would have been Newcastle, Heidi, and I think there was another one. There were others that I just had 1 or 2 dates with. But yeah, they were kind of the standout ones that, you know, a date or 2 turned into a thing for I don't know. The Newcastle thing was probably 3 months, something like that. The Heidi thing was probably about the same, 3 months, something like that. But then amongst all of the dating thing, Lisa happened, and that just stopped everything. That stopped everything because it was on my favorite dating app, UDate. It wasn't an app. We didn't have apps back then. It was a website. And I've told you this story a million times. There was this person, and there was no picture. And that was but she described herself as being an utterly stunning model type of thing. But there was no picture. And she lived in Exeter, near Exeter. And I took a gamble. And one evening I drove down from Birmingham to Exeter for a date with this person that I hadn't even seen a picture of. And in my Porsche 928. So that's a right investment in fuel, if nothing else. Because let me tell you, a 5-litre V8 Porsche 928 is not an economical motor car. So to take one from Birmingham to the very end of the M5 is not a cheap undertaking. And I picked her up. We didn't meet at a place. I picked her up from home, and parked up outside her cottage in this beautiful little village in Devon, an old converted post office. And out she came, and we went off, and we had we went to just a localish pub, and we had a meal. And we were kind of doing the first date chat, and we were doing the first date chat thing. You know, can be a little bit awkward. And in the middle of the meal, she said something, and it was a little bit more awkward than she planned. And she just looked up at me with these amazing eyes and blew her fringe out of her eyes and laughed. And it was at that exact moment I thought, I'm going to marry you. You are the one. I'm going to marry you. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you. And after that moment, everything just went sensationally well. She said, I've never driven a Porsche and I've always wanted to. Can I drive yours? I said, yes, absolutely. So we went out for a drive with her driving. She drove it into a curb, but I didn't care. And we ended up going back to her little cottage, where she made me watch Tigger, the movie, because she absolutely loved Tigger. God, yeah. Tigger, the movie. Bloody hell. And, you know, I don't watch television, I don't watch movies, and if I was going to watch one, it wouldn't be bloody Tigger. But it was the best movie I ever watched. And and then we went to bed, and that was it. So everything else stopped then. Life was just about Lisa. It was incredibly intense. And you only have to scroll forward literally a few months, and we've bought a house in Cyprus. We've got the wedding planned. The dress has been bought. The rings have been bought. Everything's been booked. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, God. Let's get back to some of your comments, shall we? Oh, where have the comments gone? I've lost a load of comments. Oh, right. I'm just going to have to pick up from where the comments are then. I've lost a load. Is this the best AI can do? How sad. Where did he get that, Jesus? The best use for AI is in the bin. I'll retire on this. No idea what you're all talking about. I used to love watching Quincy, says Sean. There was always a murder. A murder. There's been a murder. There always was indeed. Quincy died years ago. Greetings, honourable community, says Alan. I'm sorry I'm late, just back from the pub quiz. And I'm pleased to report victory. Question from Sean. What happened at the Sunday Lunch Live last weekend? I was getting ready for today, Sean. I didn't have a chance to do it. I had to sort out cars. I had to sort out paperwork, get cars working, battery, loads of stuff. Didn't have a chance. But it will be back next Sunday. Yeah, I had so much to get ready for today that I just, and I didn't really have time to do everything that I needed to do. I needed to sort out all the car's paperwork, make it all neat and tidy, sort out all the spare keys, make sure that the cars had enough fuel to get to a petrol station, make sure that they would all start, all of that sort of shenanigans, and sort everything else so that today was free, and I just didn't have a chance to do a live. Sorry, folks, there will be one next Sunday. A very good evening, Boaty and everyone, says the lovely Andrew Buttigieg, who some of us know and love as Ivor Spotty Butty. Forgot the early start. Losing me marbles in me dotage. Aren't we all, mate? Aren't we all? Paulie Galtieri says, yeah, love the red leather interior. Oh, I started to tell you about that, didn't I? Last night, when I should have been just going to bed and getting to sleep, my OCD kicked in, didn't it? My obsessive personality. And it went something along the lines of, right, so tomorrow you're getting a Peugeot, and you like French cars. And Peugeot, you're getting a Peugeot 407. They do the SW, the estate version that you're getting. They also do a saloon, and they also do a coupe. So my OCD kicked in and said, well, clearly you need the saloon and the coupe to go with it. Obviously, you can't just have one of something. You are obsessive. You have to have a collection of them. So at God knows what time in the morning, I jumped onto eBay and Auto Trader and started looking for coupes, because I'd watched a couple of videos. I jumped onto YouTube to find out about the car, because I know fuck all about the Peugeot 407. The last Peugeot I had was a 505. No, it wasn't. I tell a lie. The last Peugeot I had was a 106. I forgot about that. That was a cool little car, that was. And the videos that I found one from High Peak Autos, who I occasionally watch. And I found one from the lovely James, JM on Cars. And they were both on the coupe. And I thought, those are nice. So I thought, right, I need a coupe to go with the estate. So I went onto eBay and Auto Trader, and I found the perfect one with the same deep red leather interior, 3-litre V6. And I thought, right, that's absolutely perfect. Now, it was £2,500, and I haven't got, well, I'm over my overdraft limit at the moment, as bloody usual. So that's where it kind of fell a little bit flat. And like I think I said when I started to talk about this an hour and a half ago, thank God I'm skint, because otherwise I would have arranged to go and buy the damn thing. But that is the curse of having an obsessive personality. If I decide, Clive, my friend Clive James, sadly no longer with us, he was exactly the same. And as he said, if my body or mind decides that it likes something, then it will immediately demand industrial quantities of it. And I am exactly the same. Now, Clive had a bit less control than me. His body decided it liked marijuana, so and then demanded industrial quantities of marijuana. So he became the only person in human history to literally OD on marijuana. And I think he put that in one of his books as well. So I'm not betraying any confidences there. And it was the same with cigarettes. Now, you might think I'm a a committed smoker, but nothing like Clive. He literally lit one cigarette from another. He would literally smoke non-stop from the moment that he woke up until the moment that he went to sleep. But I'm like that with things as well as food and booze and drugs. Oh, and he was a boozer as well. He had no limits, bless him. He had no limits. But the other thing was that, as often happens with these things, his genius also had no limits. And when it came to writing, both poetry, prose, and making television programs and writing newspaper columns, he was a genius. Absolutely. That was why he was one of the people that I was proudest to become a friend of. If you want to see what a genius with the common touch really is, then just go onto YouTube, or it might still be on his website if that's still up, clivejames.com. I don't know if it's still up after he died, but do a search for Clive James postcard from Paris. And that was the 50-minute or hour-long, whatever it was, program that changed my life. I watched that as a early teenager. I think I was 12, 13, maybe 14 or something when I watched that. And I thought, that is it. That is it. That is, that's the life that I want. Those are the feelings that I have. Those are the things I need to experience. And basically, my whole life developed because of one television program, Clive James, Postcard from Paris. And that was how our friendship started. That during my many years later, during my separation, when I was living the hermit life in the Welsh cottage, when my marriage was falling apart and we were separated, and I was living at the cottage and whatnot. After years of not seeing it, because I was living that life myself, I re-watched it, and I got his contact details. And one night, very late at night, in that Welsh cottage, sitting at my writing desk, looking out over Treherbert Mountain in the Welsh black night, I wrote a long letter, thanking him basically for that program and explaining the massive effect that it had on me and had on my life, and how it shaped me and shaped my life, and the fact that I was going through something of a crisis, and I turned to that program when I was kind of at my lowest ebb, and it reignited all of my passion for life and my optimism and all of that kind of thing. And I mean, it was just it was a gushing fan letter, but because I was drunk when I was writing it, then I really made the effort, and I rewrote it. I went over every word, every sentence, and I tweaked it ad infinitum until it was a very well written, gushing fan thing. And I sent it, and he wrote back, and he said some kind things, and I wrote back, and he wrote back, and we remained in contact until he passed away. Bless him. Never met the guy in real life, but I considered him to be a very dear friend. And it might be time that I watch that again. The other chap that I would love to speak to, and two other people. Okay, feature number 64. Who would you love to spend an evening with? And I've just thought of two people that I would put right at the top of my list: Garrison Keeler and David Sedaris. Both still alive, as far as I'm aware. Although Garrison did have some quite serious medical issues at some point. Not all that long ago, I seem to recall. I think he had a heart attack or something. But David Sedaris is still well and truly alive and kicking. And they are two people that whose work has seminally affected me and my life. And I would dearly love to spend an evening in their company. Google them if you don't know them, and if you want to listen to something amazing, then search for Garrison Keeler, Keillor, Lake Wobegon Days, the BBC production, and search for, oh, right, you're probably not going to get the American stuff, but for David Sedaris, search for Meet David Sedaris, the series that he did for BBC Radio 4. And if you want to hear David Sedaris at his absolute ultimate best, and the thing that really got me well and truly tuned into him, it's then search for, I think it's on YouTube, search for a story called, what was it called? Hang on, I'm going to have to check. I think, oh God, I'm never going to find it now, am I? I think it was called 6 or 7 Black Men or something like that. I'll be there, won't it? There we are. Books on my portable electric telephone. Library. There we are.
Hey, Robin. Just a quickie.
Oh, it doesn't give you the title. Just
Ladies and gentlemen, please meet David Sedaris. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet David Sedaris.
well, I've just played that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, right,
meet
you're
David
hopeless.
Sedaris.
You're no use at all. You're no use at all. But yeah, Google them. You won't regret it. Right, let's get back to you. God, I've lost another load of comments. They're just disappearing. Michigan payment is horrible. I know. If I had Boaty's money, I'd burn mine, says Stephen S. Paul. What money? I'm really sorry. I've missed a load of comments. I'm not on my own account. I'm on my singles account because on my own account, due to a YouTube glitch, I can only have it on selected comments. I can't have all comments. To see all comments, I have to be on a different account. I don't know why, it's a YouTube thing. And because I've been waffling on, I've missed a load of comments. So yeah, I really do apologize. Boaty, you need to apply for a job across the road from Kathmandu, Gurkha for some extra coin. It might help out. What, at the brothel? At the brothel? Oh, dear. Emma says, I've been losing subscribers since I've been AWOL, absent without leave. So if anybody isn't subscribed and would like to take a look at my channel, please do. Oh, and I have been going a while. My microphone is running low on battery, so I will swap it. Oh, you know you've been going for a while when your microphones need to be swapped, right? Hopefully there was no break in audio there. Hopefully you are all still with me. I love washing up, says Alan. You have to have a soundtrack, though, and some trusty marigolds for sense of occasion. Yes, washing up always needs music, agrees Emma. Roy Orbison is still the greatest washing up soundtrack, opines Mr. Simpson. It's Raining Men is a good song for washing up, says Carol, and I also watch YouTube videos. Ross is actually doing the dishes as we chat. Giving up on girls, says 69 Phuket. They'll need to try hard. Well, not that hard, just ask. Oh, and now we're all discussing good washing up music. Do you date lawyers, Boaty, because they always get you off? I see what you did there. I see what you did there. And Carol says, very clever, Alan. I can't read that one out, but yes, brilliant spitting image song. Oh dear. Is the Ice Maiden the Boaty's ex-lawyer lady? No, the Ice Maiden was somebody completely different. Got no idea what she did for a living. We never discovered that. I loved the Ice Maiden story, says Matron, one of my favourites ever. Alan says the BDSM boyfriend must have thought all of his Christmases had come at once. Simone was off to bed at that point and said good night to everybody. Trace, says Andrew, next time at the Travelodge, get Boaty to reenact the Ice Maiden episode. Yeah, that's never happening. That is never happening. Oh God, I'm looking forward to the day when I have an entire community that haven't heard the Ice Maiden story. Oh God, what a night that was. I had a car sticker that read another quality car from Arthur Daly Motors. Brilliant. I only have a Hubnut sticker, says Peter P. Get some stickers made, Boaty. I'm going to order some. I am going to order some. A 928 Porsche is the only Porsche, apparently. I had a 931 Turbo at the same time I had the 928, and that was quite nice. How far behind is Boaty on the comments? About an hour, says Matron. Yeah. No shitting forecast? No, there wasn't. Dogger, bugger, German bite. Shitting me nighty is still one of my favourite 2024 moments, says Matron. I have horseradish in the fridge, says Jimmy F 500. Haven't used it yet. You'll be glad when you do. Sorry, I'm whizzing through these a bit now. Good night, all, says Carol C. It's been an enjoyable session. Mustard says, I love horseradish, but it does sound like a skin condition. Oh dear. Oh, right. The car thing, just to add up on that. There's going to be a thing on Wednesday. I've got stuff to do tomorrow, but on Wednesday, Mustard and I are going to meet up in Chapel on Le Frith for the ceremonial handover of the parcel shelf and the handbook. And because I've moaned at him tonight, I will buy him a nice lunch somewhere in Chapel, and we will film it. Shit. So you'll get an extra lunch video this week, darlings. I will treat Mustard to lunch. Is it my turn? No, it's not my turn. It's his turn, because Matron and I paid for lunch last Monday. But nonetheless, I will treat Mustard to lunch on Wednesday in Chapel on Le Frith, and we will do a bit of recording. I'll do some research. I'll try and find somewhere in Chapel where we can have a lunch and do a proper lunch review. I'll give you a spoiler alert. Mustard reviewed my lunch today. He gave the value 10 out of 10. I'm doing this from memory now. It's on the video, so you'll see it. But he gave value for money was 10 out of 10. You know, given that it was free from his point of view. On the Bishop's Ball Bag, he gave it 7 because he could have eaten more Momo. And then on taste, I think he gave the Momo and chutney 10 out of 10 and the chicken drumsticks 8 out of 10. God, there's some weird comments here. There are some weird comments here. Oh, Lee is with us. Hi, all, late to the show. Hello, Lee. Hope you're well, my lovely. Oxtail soup. Mum bought us that. Kids, we were ignorant, but ignorance is bliss. Oh, a hedgehog of truth question. Where's the hedgehog? From Matron. Here we go. Hang on. Right. Hedgehog of truth question. Here we go. Did you ever date or have naughty times with any eBayer? And if so, who? And if you didn't, you must be the only person who wasn't involved in the mass swinging movement that was going on. eBayer. No. No, Matron, I never did. I've heard some of your stories, and yeah, I'm kind of aware that everybody was shagging everybody else. Remember Trops had that Facebook group, Tropical and Topical TNT, and some of the stories came out in there. No, I never did any eBayer. I know you were all knocking each other's socks off, and I know that dreadful stuff was going on in hotels and all of that, but no, not me. Not me. To be honest, I never saw any eBayer that I would have liked to have had a go on. I mean, the only with my hand on the hedgehog of truth, honestly, the only eBayer that would have ever crossed my horizon was the most happily married eBayer. And you know who I'm talking. You know who I'm talking about. She's absolutely lovely. But her husband is absolutely lovely as well, and they're a lovely couple. So no, I can't remember coming across, figuratively, an eBayer that I would have even, and I kind of wasn't there anyway. I started eBay in 2000 or 2001, and yeah, that never occurred to me. I didn't have any room to do eBayers. I was too busy doing my own thing, and then I got married, and then no, I never had anything to do with any of the eBay shenanigans. I know what you lot got up to in the eBay do's, and you should all be ashamed of yourselves. But no, there was honestly, there was nobody on the power washer board or the Q&A board or anywhere else on eBay that would have that interested me in any way, shape, or form, to be honest. So I never even started to go there. The only time I got anywhere close was, I can't remember what her eBay name was. Matron, you'll know her, the nutter that Steve had a relationship with. Oh God, what was her name? I won't tell you her real name, obviously, but I can't remember her eBay name. But obviously, she was Welsh, and I was separated and in Wales, and there were suggestions about this, that, or the other, but never happened. And after Steve went there, it's a good job it never happened, because she turned out to be a total nutcase. You'll know who I mean, Tracy. You will know who I mean. Steve always said he was going to write a book about that point in his life. He actually had to have counselling after that. He went through a terrible time, and I got a little bit of it as well. So I was glad I never went there. Boaty's gone all romantic. Oh dear. What happened to Lisa? Oh, that's a story I've told before. It's too late to tell it now. Ask me another night, and I'll retell the story. It's not a happy one. It's definitely not a happy one. Now we're talking about shoe polish. I like Clive James. You have good taste. Get a Range Rover instead, says Mustard. One day there will be a Range Rover. I have owned Range Rovers in the past, and they are just the best car in the world, even though they're kind of not, but they just are. And one day I will own one again. Stephen S. Paul says, still coming to grips with my own 79 Peugeot 504, my first French diesel. Margarita Prakatan, says Ian. Clive James' backing singer, bless her. Margarita Prakatan. Yeah, Prakatan is Spanish for wow. Oh, Matron put out the link to Clive James's website. Oh, is it still there then? Oh, that's brilliant. Clive James was brilliant, says Lee. Loved his postcard shows. Now we're talking about Doc Martens. Now we're talking about Alexis Sale. I've lost the plot here, darlings. The comments are disappearing from me too, says Matron. I can't scroll back. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on with YouTube. Oh, pound that box, Boaty. I should do that. Where are my pounds? Oh God, I put them all in here, didn't I? Hang on. I'll get them out. We have to pound the box. It's for the birthday. There it is. One of the king's pounds. It's getting properly weighty now, this box. Oh, listen to that. Listen to that. That is getting properly full. And we will add one more, you see. There it goes. Oh. Oh, there was no need for that. Oh. Oh dear. I'm afraid that was a Momo burp. I kind of need to go to bed. What time is it? God, it's late. Oh, it's late. There's no dignity in Chapel on the Frith. Good night, all. Sweet dreams. Have a great day tomorrow, says Pocahontas 100. Yeah, Chapel on the Frith, Wednesday. There will be a lunch. If Mustard's available for lunch, I will treat him. Hedgehog of Truth question from Andrew. Boaty, which pottering partner has genuinely scared the bejesus out of you whilst doing the business? Scared me? God. Oh, let me think about that. Scared me. I can't think of one. I honestly can't think of one. Not while doing the business. I'll come back to that tomorrow night if I think of anybody. I can think of ones that scared me in the lead up, and that's why it didn't happen. You know, the one that the sex therapist who rugby tackled me in the pub would spring to mind. But actually during, I can't think of one. Scared me. No, genuinely can't think. I will update that answer tomorrow if anything comes to mind. Was Allegro Man's ball bag satisfied? He polished off a fair old portion, which I wasn't expecting. How did Allegro Man go eating that fodden muck? He likes spicy food. So he didn't have a problem. He wait until you see the video. His was the cleanest plate. There wasn't a speck on it. Every bit of Momo chutney was wiped away with a slice of naan. He properly went for it. My eBay sexy experience, says Matron, was nothing compared to all the others. There was a guy who took photos of lady eBayers wearing fur coats and nothing else in public before he bonked them. God. That'll do me for tonight, guys, says Ian. A Horlicks and hot water bottle are calling for me to catch you tomorrow night. Night. Good night. Thank you for joining us. I was shocked that they were all at it on eBay, I tell you, says Matron. Stratospherian joined us just as we're all buggering off. A pounded box is a happy box. Oh, I think we're coming to the end here, aren't we? That's a good hedgehog of truth question, says Emma. Has anybody ever gone for the bunghole and you had to persuade them otherwise? God. Well, Boo. Yeah, I've told you before, Boo was always very keen to. I don't mind. Oh God, I can't talk about this. Oh. Oh God, hedgehog of truth. Yeah, Boo always wanted to do the pegging thing, and wasn't having that. A bit of oh, I'm sorry about this. You don't need to hear this. A bit of tongue around it. That's nice. I enjoy that. The old rusty trombone business. But other than that, oh right, right, splendid. I've reached the end of the comments. God, what a weird one tonight has been, darlings. I apologise for the disjointed and discombobulated nature of it. I really just need to fall into bed, quite honestly. So, yes, Batman Rubin. Yes, I enjoy that very much indeed. Oh God, a hedgehog of truth question from Mustard. Is there a lady that you've managed not to tell everyone the details about? Oh God, yeah, loads. Loads. It's only the ones where something is funny or romantic or meaningful. There are all of the others. And I can't tell you about them because then I wouldn't have not told you about them. Right, darlings, I'm going to sod off. I'm going to get some supper and I'm going to go to bed. I need to thank you all very much for bearing with me tonight. It's been a train crash of a live stream, let's be honest. I've been all over the place like a mad woman's drawers. But I will be back tomorrow and it will be more structured. 11 o'clock tomorrow night for Tuesday Night Live. You'll get a video of something tomorrow, God knows what. My filming wasn't very good today. You'll probably get, you've got some bits and pieces. I don't know. They're not going to be there. Yes, right. Well, anyway, yeah. There'll be a video of some sort tomorrow. And hopefully the live streams will be back to normal tomorrow night. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to meet up with my dearest chum, Captain Mustard, in the lovely town of Chapel on the Frith. And if he's got time, then we will have a lunch. I will do a bit of online research, find somewhere suitable, and I'll buy the hairy old bugger a nice lunch to thank him for coming halfway to give me the bits of the car that should have been there in the bloody first place if you weren't a useless hairy muppet. Oh dear. Oh, election special. Oh God, yeah, we get to have a new president, hopefully tomorrow night. Are we? Aren't we? Oh well, that'll be a theme for the live stream, won't it? I don't know who I am, where I am, what's going on. I'm just going to go to bed. The only thing I can think that makes any sense at this moment in time is to eat a meal, go to bed, sleep, and everything will make sense tomorrow. And just that, sorry, Hedgehog. I just really need to thank you all for being wonderful and bearing with a really dodgy live stream. God knows what I'm going to call this one. Not a clue. Anybody? Anybody want to suggest a title? Go on, you can have 2 minutes. Put up a title. Save me thinking of one. Coronation Street. Oh, Coronation Street. Oh, did I take the rice out of the freezer? Oh, and I should put the milk, darlings, the milk that I thoughtfully laid in for Mustard and Andy, that can go in the freezer. Oh. There we go. Excellent. Right, that's that. Anybody come up with a title? A titlay? Dodgy live stream, discombobulated and drunk, so what's new? The mighty tongue, hot front parlour action. My parcel shelf isn't missing, it's just resting in another car. Portion pugs. The worst Boaty live stream ever, guaranteed, or your money back. Washing up and rimming. Washing up and rimming. God. No, the hedgehog doesn't go to bed with me. Washing up and rimming. Oh dear. I might call it that. I might call it washing up and rimming. I'm going to get demonetized anyway. Sunday night got demonetized, for God's sake, and there was nothing wrong with that. Washing up and rimming. Right, screenshot that. Washing up and rimming. God above. Darlings, thank you so much. Let me wish you all a safe and peaceful night. Again, my massive thanks for bearing with on a seriously dodgy washing up and rimming live stream. Hopefully it'll be less mad tomorrow night, I hope. And I don't know what else to say. I've just completely lost the plot. I'm just going to wish you all a safe and peaceful night. I'm going to send you all of my love, especially those of you. Oh, massive hugs and love to those of you that need it. Emma, bloody hell, matron. How many times have you? That's about the 19th time in this live stream you plugged your video. Everybody go and watch Matron's video, otherwise she won't give us any bloody peace. Oh dear. So twice my arse, it's at least 3 times. Right then, my lovelies. Yeah, all of everything I said before. Much love to all of you, love to Emma, love to anybody who needs it. Hugs, all of that sort of shenanigans. Join me tomorrow night if you possibly can. What day is it tomorrow? Tuesday? Tuesday night live, 11 o'clock, slightly later. I've got no idea what's going on. I don't know who I am, where I am. And that's, have a really good, have the best day that you possibly can tomorrow. If you can take joy anywhere and anywhere, please do so. And above all, take care of yourselves. And if you're fortunate enough to have people who you love or who love you, take really good care of them too. The candle will be relit 11 o'clock tomorrow. Until then, much love, good night, pachu, and indeed, a washing up and rimming, bosh.